Writing is not easy, and sometimes we get stuck on just coming up with an idea of what we're going to write about. But some very simple topics are usually the best, especially since our narratives are going to be relatively short. There are 2 pieces of paper for you to use. There are short half pages for narratives, and there's full whole pages for narratives. Try and write as many narratives as you can for the week. I'm expecting at least 3 short ones, or 1.5 or 2 full ones, depending on what you need, what size of paper you need to write on. Remember that the introduction is our who, did, what, when, and where. Our body is the details, which actually tells a story, and that's where you can get really creative and use some figurative, what we call figurative language, words that you wouldn't normally put together. Try and throw some prepositions in there. And then our conclusion, which is our thought, reflection, ideas, opinions about what had just happened to us and what we had just written about. So take your time when you're writing. Find a moment where you can sit down and think about what you want to write down. Use your eraser. Spelling's not that important. Just try and be successful in putting together a good introduction, a successful body, and a very good conclusion. Writing takes some time, so find a quiet place when you do want to write, and just let your imagination kind of go. The only 2 things that we're focused on is the introduction, the body, and conclusion. There's 2-sided paper, lined paper in your package. One has a full sheet of paper for the introduction, body, and conclusion, and one has half a sheet for 2 of them. So whichever one fits you the best, that's the one I want you to work on. But I want you to send back a narrative that has an introduction, a body, conclusion. And that's what we're focusing on right now. I'm going to write on the short. I wrote on the long last time. I'm going to write on the short narrative here. This is going to be week 28. Week 29. And your name goes here. And we haven't put titles in just yet, but I'm going to put a title in here, but I don't know what it's going to be just yet. So, as you know, I've been trying to wash the car, but it's been too windy. So, yesterday I was in town and I got a chance to wash the car. So that's what I'm going to write about. So yesterday, and I'm going to indent here. Don't forget to indent and start with your capital. Yesterday, okay, while the air was clear and warm, I washed the car. I washed the car at Mission. So I'm giving you some more details here. Mission Auto Wash. Next to Baskin Robbins. I don't know if you know this one. Okay, so there's my introduction. Who, me, did what, wash the car, when, yesterday, and where at Mission Auto Wash. So there's my introduction. So now I'm going to start describing. We'll make a new paragraph here. I'm going to kind of describe what happened or what I did to wash the car. So I slipped it into a wet stall. Paid a couple dollars. Paid a couple dollars when the jet nozzle became alive. Okay, so then it, meaning the jet nozzle, pushed. Because you know how it kind of pushes against your hand. it doesn't go on very smoothly. You need both hands to hold on to that nozzle. It pushes soapy sheets of water against the car's windows. Okay, and this is one of the rare times I used and it filled the air with mist. So here's the body. I'm starting to fill that out. You've seen that happen when people put their car in the stalls and they turn on that big jet nozzle and they start spraying around. All this mist comes all over the place. The moisture. Okay, I don't know how to spell moisture. So I'm going to circle that. I'm going to put SP because I'll come back to that. The moisture felt good. You know how a hose feels sometimes on a summer day. On this dry day. This soapy mass. I kind of made up that word soapy, but that's what it looks like, the soapy mass. And mass means like a large collection because the car starts to get a collection of all this soap on it, kind of disappears underneath it. The soapy mass had started. So I use one of our helping verbs. Had started collecting on the car, I'll say what car it is, on the Honda's skin. And I put skin because it's kind of like, when you take a shower, you soap up your body. That's what people do with their cars. The soapy mass had started collecting on the Honda's skin. So I'm getting kind of, I'm putting words in here that are kind of fun to use. Skin. And then clear water. Moved the soap off of the car. Oh, I did off. Move the soap off of the car. Now I'm going to do a like. What does that remind me of? Like a shallow mountain stream. You know how if you go to a mountain, you can see the rocks below the clear water? That's kind of what it looks like when you do the clear water on the car. Just kind of flows over the car like there's a stream on it. Okay, now I'm going to do my conclusion down here. So another paragraph. The car again looks shiny and new. So every time something's clean, it looks new. My pride grew. Now that it was finally clean. Okay, so this is my thought, my reflection, how I felt. So that's my conclusion. So my introduction was the who did what, when, and where. So go ahead and write this in the margin. The body is the details, okay, describing how the car gets washed. And my conclusion is a thought, reflection, feeling. Okay. So this would be a simple narrative with an introduction, body, and conclusion, and that's where we're trying to be successful at. Now down here I can write another one, or if I have something a bit longer, I can use the longer form on the back. So I'm going to ask that you have at least 2 to 3 complete narratives by the end of the week. If you use a long form, you only need 1 or 2. If you use a short form, you need at least 2 or 3. So you should use the back side of both these. If you come up with 2 narratives on your own, try and put some prepositions in there. And it does take some time, so be patient with it. I look forward to reading them. I'm sorry, there's one thing I forgot. I said I was going to put a title in here. And I like that car wash. I think I'll go back to it. So at the Mission Car Wash, I'm just going to put at the Mission Car Wash. And I'd like you to add a title to your, if you have space, I'd like you to add a title now to your narratives, along with making sure you have an introduction, a body, and conclusion. Good luck.